it's Laura Katanen with Lady Boss Mamas. This is an amazing series where Molly and I connect with other powerful, successful entrepreneurs who are also moms, and we share business tips, mommy tips, and we get real on a ton of topics. I'm a lifestyle blogger, and I'm also a sensory branding and marketing consultant. And around that, I have an 18-month-old toddler, Aiden.
Hi, everyone. I'm Molly Addis. The energy of this interview is great. I'm already having so much fun. I'm Molly Addis. I own a clothing line called Molly Addis Maternity, the breastfeeding mom. And I have two boys, Bennett and Andrew, who are 7 and 8. And today we're talking with Norma, who owns a company called Sunless Beauty.
Sure. Hi, I'm Norma Wesolowski. I'm the founder of Sunless Beauty, organic spray tanning. My whole vision with the company was to bring, organic skincare to the market and help people who want to have some color, like me, because I get pretty pale, without, damaging the skin. And I have a 5 going on 6-year-old this weekend, Gemma Rose, and she is my little one, and she's actually the reason why I started this company. Became a single mom, and I thought, I want to do something, leave something behind for her. And so here I am 6 years later, Sunless Beauty.
Norma, since we started talking, I want to hear, like everyone wants to hear about your products, but you bring so much of your personal energy and beliefs and mindset into your line. So I want to just hear a little bit more about that. And obviously your daughter is your inspiration, but how does that set your business apart from other brands that are maybe doing something similar?
I feel like when you're passionate about something, then it's not work, and it's like play plus. And a lot of my lifestyle is about, playfulness. I'm a big jokester. I'm kind of punny and corny, and at the same time, I've been through, quite a bit of spiritual, evolving and changing throughout my life. I have incorporated that into my line and, my company. I do have a studio salon here in Torrance. It has a really nice, peaceful vibe, My line has that kind of look, and then I put it in some of the verbiage, just like mindfulness and things like that. So it's just been something that has been slowly evolving, but is pretty exciting.
You post a lot of pregnant women getting spray tan in your facilities. So tell us about that. That's really awesome that it's so safe enough for pregnant moms.
Well, it's such a small amount that's being sprayed onto each person. We spray 2 ounces. So can you imagine, it's really that much. The active ingredient, DHA, is what is in spray tan. Ours comes from beet, which is a plant derivative. And then as far as our products are all made here, our spray tan solutions are made here in California. So they're all Prop 65 compliant, FDA regulated. So there's no cancer-causing chemicals. I mean, even I'm not going to name any names, but there's some companies out there that have to post that their coffees are not Prop 65 compliant, when you go in. We don't have to post any of that here at our shop because all of our products are Prop 65 compliant.
Okay, so I have a question about the products. So did you start just as a spray tan facility and then you added products later?
Mm-hmm. So I started spray tanning because I heard that it's safe, it's UV free, no cancer, and from the UV. And so I started using another line when I first started, and I started getting reactions, and I would have all these allergies. And I went to the doctor, and they're like, well, what do you do? And I said, I spray tan. They're like, well, you're allergic to that solution. And this company was touting that they were organic and clean and this and that. Well, I started working with a 20-year formulator who's been in the business for a long time, and we came up with my line that's, very clean. And of course, I no longer have any issues. So it started that way. I started with the solutions, which is this bottle here. This is a back bar product. So the solutions are for professionals. And then slowly, as the years have gone by, I've introduced, products that help maintain the spray tan, but also safe enough that you can use, every day as your at-home go-tos for the shower.
What is one piece of advice or two, if that's better, that you would give to a woman that is looking to develop her own product line? And what works, like what was working really well that kind of surprised you, like you thought it might be harder, and then what was harder than you thought it might be easier? This is Zena.
Like anything else, have patience and never give up. Actually, I just listened to Winston Churchill this morning saying that, but so maybe that's in my brain. But everything takes time. So if you have an idea for a product, do your research, find out which manufacturing facilities have the same eco-ethics standards that you have. Like few of the products that are made at like solar powered facilities, which I love, So, just try to, if you're making a product, try to think about what you would want these companies to do. And, since I started 6 years ago until today, I just feel like society and the economy is changing so much. People are really moving towards this. I see it every day, and it's just make products that are aligned with your values.
What was the hardest thing for you? Like, what was your biggest roadblock or obstacle where you almost felt like giving up?
Money. Money.
Oh.
It takes a lot of money to develop one product. A lot of, that my shop where I spray tan is my fuel. Like, it's where I get my capital to invest in my products. So it's not something that is inexpensive to do. And think small, like, when you first start out, don't try to do 10,000 units because you don't have distribution. You have to also think about distribution. I mean, if you really want to get down to like the business end of it, I have my shop, so that's my distribution. I sell my products to my clients. I have, I think, almost 6,000 clients in my database. So I make in small batches. I'm not anywhere near, I'm not in Whole Foods. I'm not, online distributing my products. So my batches are, 500 to 600 units each, So just think about that too. Like, who are you selling to? Do you have the distribution? Do you have the financial resources? So before you jump in, you really have to make sure that you've set yourself up for success and that you don't get in over your head.
My question, because I get this a lot, so I have a clothing line, but I didn't have a background in fashion design at all.
Right.
And I had the idea for the product. And so I'd like to hear more about your background and, like, for someone who has an idea for a product, but they're not a scientist or they don't have any experience in that area, how did you like put everything together and get started?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kidding. I have a background in fashion. I actually went to Fashion Institute of Technology in New York and FIDM in San Diego in product merchandising. So I've always worked with the front end, like getting products to the consumer, displays, POP, merchandising, making things look nice. But I always had very expensive tastes, like when it came to what I like to consume. And so I think it was just like a brew in the making. As a child, someone asked me, when did you first know you were an entrepreneur? And I said, since I was a kid. I used to, I wasn't the best at it, but I used to crochet like little necklaces and stuff. And then when it was safe to do this, stand down in front of my yard with a little for sale sign and like sell like bracelets and necklaces, and things like that. So I think it was just in a accumulation of just like my inner self, what I liked, and then being resourceful. So yes, I'm not a scientist, but you can find a great scientist. You can find great labs to work with that are already, working with these types of products or, using natural ingredients.
Was there a point where you thought, who am I to make this product? Why why am I an expert on this? Or that you felt like you weren't an expert, and you're kind of like in that moment of, who the hell do I think I am? How can I do this?
I think there's a lot of people who say that about me. But
true, yeah.
it is, they call it. But I think I just wake up every day like everybody else, and I put my shoes on, my feet hit the floor, I brush my teeth, I make sure my daughter's good, and then sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? And then like I'll come like what the hell, but then I'll come to my space here that I've created at the shop, and then my clients start calling, and then like Vanessa shows up for work, and then I'll get a sale, and I'm like, it just, little reminders that show me I'm going down the right path, like, okay, like I'm just going with the flow. Like none of this has been easy, but none of it has been forced, And also I'm very aware that we're not promised tomorrow. So this is working for now, but if I start to see that it's not working or things take a step back, then I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to reevaluate and see, okay, maybe I need to switch it up and go in like a different direction, or that's just how I am. I don't try to think like, yes, I have goals and I have a vision, but I'm also flexible. And that gives me a break. So I don't have to feel like, who do I think I am? Because I know who I am. I know I'm just a human. I know that, I have flaws. I know that I have to change sometimes, so that just kind of takes me off the hook for everything, not just for my business, but for life too, I guess.
You are a single mom, right?
Yes, I am.
And so tell me about that. What was that journey like during this whole process? And at what point did you start this? Because I forget, how old is your little one again?
She's 6. Well, she'll be 6 this weekend.
You started it around the same time that she was born then.
5 months old, I started. Yeah. When she was started. Yeah. Well, her father, he got ill. I guess you want to say, he battles with some personal stuff. And I had to make a decision, if I wanted to try to raise Gemma on my own. And I did, and I think it was, looking back now, it was the right decision. At the time, I wasn't certain, because we're not, like I said, we don't have a crystal ball, right? I thought, well, what am I going to do with my life as far as my career? I have a corporate background, and, but I really, besides marketing and business acumen, I don't have a skill, like something I could do, like a service. I don't know, I just felt like I needed a skill. And so I thought about being an esthetician. I thought about doing hair, just fashion and beauty. I really love that. And I thought, let me go online and see what's out there. Well, I never watched the Kardashians, but for some reason I was probably just, what is that called when you go on Netflix and you just binge?
Yeah.
And they were this episode where they had a mobile spray tanner come out and tan them in their home or whatever. And I'm like, what's this mobile spray tan, whatever. So I Googled it and I saw, first of all, nobody was doing it really in LA. And it was just a blue market, like it was just wide open. There was at the time one company just really promoting their products and stuff like that. And so I got my certification through them because I love to be tan and all this stuff. So yeah, and then I ordered my first kit when my daughter was like 5-6 months old, mobile kit, and then started marketing myself, online. I would take clients in the middle, like not middle of the night, but like 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock while my daughter was asleep at my home. Just trying to, make money doing that and seeing if I could make it without having to go back to corporate America. That was my whole thing. So if I went back to corporate America, I'd never see my daughter, they'd own me basically. And I didn't want that. I wanted to have flexibility and, be able to pick her up when I want. If she's sick, have her with me. I wanted to have those kind of my own rules when it came to raising her.
Was it ever like, we talk a lot on this series about the balancing of everything, and the mom guilt.
Yeah.
And so those are really great conversations and great moments, but I'm sure you've also had your fair share of those guilty moments.
I think every day, because, well, first, we're not like your traditional family model, my daughter and I, and so there's a lot of guilt when it comes to that, you know. I don't really date because I'm either with her. I have a joke, after 7, I'm locked down. So, so, you know, not being able to have like that mommy daddy environment. I know a lot of single moms go through that, you know, they're out with their kids and they see, you know, their kids on the dad's shoulders and things like that. It's not my fault that I'm not able to provide that for her, but that's what guilt's about, right? Feeling bad about something you can't control, right? And then just also, in the beginning, not so much anymore, but the first 3 years, I was just out marketing all the time. That's actually how I met Marcia. Like, I spray tan for LA Swim Week, you know, and being out late, 10, 11 o'clock at night, promoting the brand. I mean, that was always my intention. You know, everybody else was having fun drinking. I'm there, you know, handing out my cards and making sure I'm getting on the, you know, the pictures on the red carpet, whatever I could get to promote the brand. But that kind of stuff, you know, does eat at you, you know. But then I try to just take a step back and put it all in perspective and set my intention inside of myself. And I say, you know, I'm doing this for her. You know, I'm building something for her.
We end with a bonus question, and it's actually from myintent.org. They have a What's Your Word deck. Who are your heroes?
My parents. You would think that. Yeah.
Why?
Oh my gosh. They're just awesome.
That's great.
I'll write it back.
They let you sell your bracelets outside. That was probably.
You know, I think my parents, you know, they're still together. They're still alive. They were the type of parents that didn't like hand me everything. You know, they could. You know, my dad was a self-made millionaire. You know, it's not that they didn't want to. It's that they wanted to prepare me for my better life, you know, so that I could stand up on my own, be resourceful, you know. And I think as a kid, you don't understand that, you know. It's like, why does this person have this, you know, name brand sneaker, but we had to go to Payless, you know, or whatever, you know. And I'm looking back on it, and I really am grateful for the way that they raised me and the way that they continue to be in my life. And you know, I just think they're amazing. They're very hardworking. And yeah, I think that those would be my heroes.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, Norma, thank you.
Well, thank you so much, guys.
Please subscribe to Lady Boss Mamas, and we'll put all the information in the info box below. Bye.
Bye.